Nollywood A-list actor and one of the spokespersons of the Peter Obi Presidential Campaign Council, or the Labour Party Presidential Campaign Council, in the 2023 presidential election, Kenneth Okonkwo has weighed in on the story that Atiku Abubakar had offered Peter Obi VP slot ahead of 2027 election as part of the agreement or the arrangement to ensure the ousting of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the 2027 presidential election. And his suggestion, which he gave at Arise TV interview, has also brought up an interesting dimension, and that dimension is that anybody who wants to be the presidential candidate of the coalition must submit himself to a competitive primary. In other words, if Peter Obi, Atiku Abubakar, or anybody is interested in the presidential slot, they should submit themselves to competitive primaries, which now throw up the question, can Peter Obi defeat Atiku Abubakar in a political party primaries? But first of all, let us look at what Kenneth Okonkwo said about the position offered to Peter Obi by the Atiku camp. And this is what he told Arise TV. He said, in politics, candidates have the choice to get into their own discussion and negotiation. But for me, my own take is that whoever believes that he is qualified to be president should submit himself for a free and fair primary election. Okonkwo stated, that toughness that we are going to face in the primary will determine the person that has the capacity to face the full challenge in the general election. End of quote. And he therefore distanced himself from the backroom arrangement of telling a candidate to step down for another. He said, I am not in the league of people trying to persuade anybody to step down for anybody. That should be the decision of the candidate himself, because I wouldn't want anybody to come out and say, I am leaving this coalition because I was pressured to give up my ambition. In other words, Kenneth Okonkwo is advocating an open competition between Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, and every other person that is interested to be part of the coalition, so that somebody who will emerge will be somebody that could be able to face the tough challenge ahead. And that tough challenge is facing incumbent President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now let me tell you a little story about Kenneth Okonkwo that is of concern to me. Kenneth Okonkwo was after the election, he was among those who supported Peter Obi. And then all of a sudden he began to have a change of heart. He began to talk about that Peter Obi didn't defend his mandate very well, even when he was part of the legal team of Peter Obi up to the Supreme Court. I don't know what he had expected Peter Obi to do, whether Peter Obi should have taken to the streets and be locked up like MKO Abiola, whether that was what he was aiming. Now, after that, he began to run a campaign in the media, on TV in particular, saying that Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi and Tinubu should not contest in 2027. That was the campaign he had been running. That Peter Obi, Atiku Abubakar, and Tinubu should give way for a new generation. That's what he said. A new people to emerge. Now, within those period, Atiku Abubakar invited him for a dinner. He was the person that publicized that invitation, because after he met with Atiku Abubakar, he was gleefully sharing the picture he took with Atiku Abubakar. Okay, and he said that his meeting with Atiku Abubakar was successful. Now, I did a video to challenge him to explain to Nigerians what does it mean it was successful. For it to be successful, in my own estimation, since he had been running a campaign that Atiku should not contest in 2027, does it mean that Atiku has agreed to not to contest? Because that is the only way it would be reasonable to say that the meeting was successful. But he didn't go further than that, saying that it was successful. But the next thing we heard from him was now advocating that whoever will lead the coalition will do a single term. So he is part of the people that started this agenda. Okay. He said that anybody who will lead the coalition to push out Tinubu must do one term. So he started, if you look at the story that trended about Peter Obi accepting the offer, he said Atiku will do one term. That thing started from Kenneth Okonkwo after his meeting with Atiku Abubakar. He began to talk about one-term presidency, that the person must agree to do one term. Whoever it is must agree to do one term. Okay, so that gives me the impression that he is among those who has agreed with that agenda of Atiku Abubakar. Perhaps in that meeting, I cannot be too sure, but I'm just, as an analyst, I'm trying to imagine what happened. Perhaps in that meeting he had with Atiku Abubakar, because after he came out from that meeting, he was no longer saying that Atiku should not contest. He was no longer saying that Obi should not contest. Okay? He was not talking about the person whoever would head the coalition should do one term. And now the story we are getting is that Atiku has agreed to do one term. And I have said it here that Atiku Abubakar, if he set his foot on the Aso Villa, will not do one term. And I gave his history, his ambition to be president, way back to the Abiola era. He cannot step into Aso Villa and you tell him to do one term. No. He will never do one term. He will do two terms. Let us know that as a fact. So building something on lies is not right. Atiku will not do one term. Anybody who believes that Atiku will do one term, that person must have believed that the earth is flat instead of spherical. That's the truth. Anybody who believes that Atiku Abubakar will step his foot on Aso Rock Villa and do one term, that person must believe that the earth is flat. Okay. Now, given what Kenneth Okonkwo has said, it therefore means that in any coalition there will be a primary election. There should be a primary election, actually. But can Peter Obi defeat Atiku Abubakar in a primary election? Knowing the way they do primary election in Nigeria, the truth is that in any primary election that Atiku participates, he's likely to carry the day, because Peter Obi is not likely to be able to do the kind of things Atiku Abubakar will do in such a coalition to lead it. Because to be frank, Peter Obi has grassroots support, but when it comes to delegate selection to choose who will be the candidate, I can tell you for free, Atiku Abubakar will be able to maneuver it. Look, you have to respect Atiku Abubakar when it comes to that kind of internal politics. And look at the caliber of people he has defeated. Those who can match him naira for naira, and were able to spend as much as he could, as much as he was able to outmaneuver them. In 2011, ahead of the PDP primaries, the northern elites believed that it's supposed that Jonathan should not be the candidate. They formed what they call the consensus candidate that was coordinated by Adamu Chiroma. Adamu Chiroma coordinated that coalition to know who will be the candidate of the North that will challenge Goodluck Jonathan in the PDP primaries. That was ahead of 2011 election. Do you know those who Atiku contested against in the North for the consensus to emerge? He contested against General Ibrahim Babangida, General Ali Oguso, Governor Saraki. Are you getting it? Atiku beat them, and the Adamu Chiroma committee nominated him as the consensus candidate. Look at the caliber of people that Atiku beat. IBB, General Guzo. General Guzo had just come out from being the national security advisor to Obasanjo. So he was strong financially, he was highly connected and everything. Atiku beat General Guzo. Atiku beat General Babangida. And he emerged as the Northern consensus candidate. You look at what Atiku, when he returned, after he left for APC in 2015, that one was really, they were out for him, Tinubu and co, because they saw that he doesn't have what it takes to be able to propel the North, to mobilize the North, to move against Jonathan. So they believe that the person who has militant supporters who are ready to cause problem if the election didn't go their way is Muhammad Buhari. They mobilized, and that was how Atiku was beaten in the APC primary. Okay, even though there was also a report of the dollar rain in that primaries that produced Buhari, but the naira rain didn't come from Buhari. It came from other sources. Okay, Atiku was outspent, outnumbered, and all that. And Atiku then returned to PDP in 2019. Look at how he was able to outmaneuver everybody. And he emerged as the candidate of the party in 2019, in which he picked Peter Obi as his running mate. Now look at what he did in 2023. Despite all the war chest of Nyesom Wike, the then governor of Rivers State, who was also interested in the ticket, he was also able to outmaneuver Nyesom Wike, which is part of the reason that PDP is where it is today. So if Peter Obi and Atiku present themselves for a primary in any coalition, and it's going to be by delegates, it is very easy for me to determine here that Atiku Abubakar will maneuver his way through the delegates to emerge the winner. That is what will happen. That's my assessment of what will happen in any coalition primaries. Because I can tell you for free, it will not be free and fair primaries as Okonkwo is putting it. It wouldn't be that kind of free. It may look free on the outside, but in reality, that primary will not be that free. It will be just like every other primaries that are being manipulated by those who have the resources to be able to pay to have the lead in it. So that is my take on that position of Okonkwo, that they should submit themselves. basically. But as far as I can see it, any coalition that is not built around Peter Obi at a time like this, when the presidency, the ruling party seems to have bought up a lot of people, including the governors, even in the main opposition party, the PDP. Atiku cannot be the arrowhead of it and expect it to be able to succeed with the mobilization of the Nigerian people. I still insist that Peter Obi should be the arrowhead. But if Peter Obi submit himself to the primary election, that Atiku is likely to win it. I have given you the history of Atiku Abubakar in primary elections. He has shown that he has the knack for superintending or succeeding over his opponents. And he has fought some of the biggest names in Nigeria in terms of money, in terms of position, and he triumphed. And I don't see him losing in a coalition primaries against Peter Obi because of the nature of politics we play. Peter Obi is popular, he has grassroots support, but look at how Labour Party members are behaving in the National Assembly. Are they behaving like Peter Obi? So you can imagine what people will do when he gets to the primaries. So basically, my take is that Peter Obi should be the arrowhead. But if we go the way of Okonkwo is saying it then means Atiku is likely to carry the day. Perhaps that may be a better way of doing it instead of telling Peter Obi to take VP slot. That will be a better way if Peter Obi participates in such a coalition. If he is defeated, then Atiku, who is likely to carry the day, because I don't see how their primaries will be any different from what is happening in APC, what happened in APC in 2023, or what happened in PDP in 2023. It's going to be the same thing. That's my take. I don't know what to think about Kenneth Okonkwo's position on how to resolve the matter of Peter Obi stepping down or not stepping down for Atiku Abubakar. What is your position? Let's hear from you at the comment section. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, Google will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.